put Kennesaw State on the map with these hoops. Amir Abdur-Rahim in the building. What's up, Coach?
What's happening, man?
What's happening, baby? Hey, man, let's go, man. Let's go. I'm excited now.
Tell people your travels to Kennesaw, your coaching travels. Let them know. You just give them the travels that you've been, man.
I come from humble beginnings, man. So I love where I'm at, man. I started out as a GA at Murray State for 2 years. You know, kind of earned my stripes. Then was assistant there for 3 years. Had some really good success. Georgia Tech for a year, Charleston for 2 years, Texas A&M for 4. You know, we went to 2 Sweet 16.
Yep.
And then, you know, last year I was at the University of Georgia with Tom Crean and my man Chad Dollar, another Atlanta native.
Doug High.
Yes, sir.
You look young, but you done put some. You put some miles on. You got some miles on you, man.
You know, these folks look at this gray and you know, they'll be like, "Hey, man," you know. But it's great to be back home. Like really be back home, and where I'm at, no doubt.
The grind as a basketball coach.
Yep.
You're finally at this point where you can run a program yourself.
No doubt.
How excited are you for this opportunity?
Man, I'm unbelievably excited about it. You know, the thing that's crazy is you work all these years and to be a good assistant, you know, it's really learning what your head coach's vision is and what his values are and then trying to, you know, kind of preach those to the guys that you're impacting every day and still to be able to be yourself. So now to be a head coach and you're able to kind of put your culture, your standards, and your impact on your program is you know, it's fun. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, you know, but it's something that, you know, you work your career for. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's how we were raised, you know, to give back and, you know, make sure guys understand that, you know, it's bigger than basketball. Kind of teach them life through basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the Abdur-Rahim's, the name is very big in the ATL.
Your sister talk a lot of trash.
Yeah, Kadira, she still says she can put up 20 on us.
Man, she talks so much.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell you, back in her day, she could rock and roll. I don't know about now. You know, back in her day, though, she was pretty good. I don't know about now.
But you mentioned about the way you were raised. I mean, you know, everybody know about Sharif and what he's doing now, president of G League, what he did for the Hawks, his career. Future Foundation, what you guys do over there. But how was it growing up as an Abdur-Rahim back in the day?
Man, it was competitive. I mean, if anything else, I mean, it was, you know, we did so much. Like, you know, everybody kind of knows our family, you know, through basketball. But, man, I mean, we played basketball, baseball, softball, all down there.
How deep are y'all, just for people to know?
Man, 13. You know, 13 brothers and sisters, you know, but man, we got, you know, now it's, you know, it's grandbabies running around.
Crowded house, man.
Crowded house, man.
I went to your press conference, I'm like, well, dang, how many of these are?
Hey, I'm telling you, I was telling you off air, man, I got a little sister who's about to be a senior up at St. Francis, man. It's so funny, you know, because you go through coaching and you build relationships because people can impact you differently, not only on the men's side, but there's some really good women's coaches out there. And man, I get a text every now and again like, hey, is this your sister? Like, yeah, that's my sister.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw it, I thought it was Sharif's daughter.
No,
that's a sister.
It's a sister, yeah. It's crazy. So, but look, the funniest part, they like, so she the last one? I'm like, nah, it's like 3 more behind. So, I mean, we you know, we gonna be around here in Atlanta for a long time now.
That name will be around for a minute.
No doubt.
Coach, the talent that's in the state of Georgia. You have to be excited about being able to build a program and really don't really have to lead the state initially.
Nah, no doubt. You know, like I say this, you know, during my press conference, we talked about, you know, building it with Georgia guys. And we're not going to stray from that, you know, but you want to add the best players you can with the right work ethic, right character. But, I mean, you know, man, we know Metro Atlanta, but you go north of 75, you go south of 75, you go east of 285, west of 285, you jump down there to South Georgia, we talking about a whole different thing, you know, so we want to be able to cover this state, you know, and make sure the high school coaches and the AAU coaches know that, you know, they got open doors at Kennesaw State, you know, so that's really important to us. So we really don't have to go anywhere, you know, and I'm just telling you, like, we're going, you know, we got relationships that we'll kind of reach out and maybe snag one from you know, out of state, but you know, we're gonna make sure Georgia's taken care of.
When Milton gave you the call, why was Kennesaw State the right fit for you?
Man,
people offer the job. That don't mean you got to take it.
No doubt. I think, you know, I think at the end of the day, you know, it wasn't as easy as, you know, people think. I mean, head coaching jobs are hard to get. You know, we were doing at Georgia, with Coach Crean and our staff at Georgia, what we were building, man, I think that thing is about to take off. You know what I mean? And so, it's a pull from there to kind of see that through. But, it was really talking to Sharif at the end of the day, and he said something to me. I was just like, man, that's really impactful. And it was just, in a sense, at the end of the day, it was some things that were said during the conversation. But he was just like, man, you got to bet on yourself. You've worked all of this time, to help other people, kind of build their in a sense empire or programs, and now you get a chance. And the pull it was home. I mean, we've lived a little bit of everywhere in Metro Atlanta, from Southwest Atlanta to Decatur. We went to school at Wheeler and Marietta, and Wheeler's only about 15 minutes from campus. Yeah, so being able to know, that area, but like, when you got the events up at Lake Point, and you get there a little early and you drive through campus and you're like, man, they got it all over here. Yeah. And that was just the outside, but once I got a chance to like tour the facilities and you see the convocation center, we got a practice facility, good weight room, locker room. You got everything that you had, that we had, whether it was at Murray State or Charleston, really more, compared to back then, and then knowing the potential of what it can be if you can keep some of these kids home, if you really do a good job evaluating the talent, and getting the right kids in there. And I really believe it's a winnable league year in, year out. So, after talking to Milton and hearing his vision, we have a really, really good leader, at the helm for us at Kennesaw State. And so alignment is really important. And I mean, he sold me, but at the same time too, is you get a chance to be home and kind of put on.
And it's a Division I college basketball program.
No question.
That's what people understand. Y'all can get to the tournament.
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt. No doubt.
I go to this the other hour, so y'all stay with us real quick.
Yes, indeed.
More. Stay with us.
SSNATL.com is a Radio 2 Atlanta station, which provides a daily mix of awesome hits with smart talk. For the smarter listener, your choice just became clear. SSNATL.com. Radio that's not dumbed down.
One of the most dominant home court. Crush. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. And that's all she wrote.
We're going into the second hour of the Crush Sports Talk on the Sensation Station Network. It's your boy E. Blaze with my man Maceo. You missed the first hour. You missed our interview with LaChana Robinson. She does it all. WNBA, ACC Network.
She does it all.
ESPN.
Yeah.
But,
Put in the job.
And our girl Nia told her a great story back in the day when she was 16.
I have a Cheesecake Factory store with Allen Iverson, but found out he was in there every day. So
when we get him in, we gotta go through Maceo Cheesecake. That cheesecake.
Be like, hey, why were you at Cheesecake every day with the Maybach pause?
Yeah,
Hey, I hear again. Lord have mercy, everybody.
I want to get in the poppers. Anyway, I'm not here at the ball. I ain't want to call him out.
Hey, man, it's Allen.
And right now, man, we're here with the head coach, the new head coach of Kennesaw State University, Amir Abdur-Rahim. Amir, taking this job and where you're going to, why do you feel you're ready?
I mean, why not? I
love when people say that.
Like,
I love the way.
And I say that humbly, but again, like I know why I got into the business. It wasn't for the glitz, the glamour, or the glory. It was more so, when I was anywhere between 18 and 22 years old, man, I was fortunate enough, obviously, to have a father and a brother. But when I had coaches who impacted me, man, on a high level, man, I'm talking about a high level, like seriously, like I couldn't tell you where I would be, without a Billy Kennedy or a Roman Banks or a Steve Prohm. These guys, these are my coaches in college, and then, or Calvin Andrews, just different people that had a hand in kind of my development. So, when it was time to be, I always prepared as an assistant coach. I prepared like I was a head coach, and I've been fortunate to work for some really good head coaches as well, So I was, when you talk about being prepared, it's making sure that you're carrying yourself every day when you're an assistant, like you're a head coach. Right. So when it was time to go and get that call, I felt comfortable, that I was confident enough to take. And now some things I'm going to learn along the way, know, but that's growth, and that's uncomfortable. Any type of growth is uncomfortable. But, again, I had a good foundation of how I was raised, so I feel good about, how I'll respond.
Talk about how you have to get athletes to understand the difference from high school to college coming in to play basketball. Because everybody think, I'm a hooper. I'm a bowler.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is this. Through the recruiting process, you do it. And you have real conversations with them. Because the thing I don't want to have guys transferring out of my program. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
shout out to the transfer board.
Porter real, man. So you try to be straight up with them, man. You try to be honest with them, based on, what it's going to be like. But from day one, the biggest thing I try to get them to understand is time management. That's the thing they don't understand. They think it's going to be all basketball, and then bang. Now, the fortunate thing is you get them there in the summer. Right. So you get them there in the summer, and they like, man, they looking like this after about a week and a half, 2 weeks. But you teach them how to manage that time. So that's the biggest thing, is just, hey, man, look, let's sit down and talk about the schedule. Getting them prepared to go into what they're going into. And again, that we're fortunate. Place, to make sure they're prepared when.
You got footballs winning conference championships, and y'all going. It could be a big thing to start. It's 30,000 students at Kennesaw State. People don't know that.
It's the second largest university in the state. So I look at what Coach Bo has done, and some people, I don't know, some people might be intimidated by that. I look at it as man, you know what? We got the blueprint. We got the blueprint of how to build it. So it's not one of these things where it has to be men's basketball or football. It's got to be, hey, let's use each other. Those football Saturdays over at Kennesaw State, they're going to be a lot of fun this fall.
Recruiting too.
So it's a great opportunity to get our guys over to campus and see it, or get guys to campus and see it, tailgate a little bit, have a good time. Let them get a feel for campus. And then we got to do our part and return the favor to Coach Bo so he can bring his guys to some basketball games. Right. And we get that convocation center rocking, like we can. It sits 4,600. That's a great number to have a great environment
and get people on top of each other and
create
that home field advantage.
Yes, sir.
We come back, Coach. I want to talk to you about something in your press conference and something that may show dear to his heart.
Okay.
The whole recruiting and family thing, man.
Yeah.
And doing that, that's y'all guys are the troopers out there to recruit, man. It was stuff.
SSNATL.com.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression. My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill, it helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
And will give someone in my community a second chance too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me. Whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything. I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor. If making my detox public is going to help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth. Spread the truth. A message from Truth, the Ad Council, and ONDCP.
Good morning, Uglyville!
Every ugly doll is unique.
I'm Moxie.
Bobo.
Wade.
Those close to me call me Slick Doll.
Which is not his name.
And every child is, too.
He can be pretty lovable.
That's why when you travel, you should make sure your child is in the right seat for their age and size.
That sounds pretty great to me.
Keep them safe by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Isn't that right, gibberish cat?
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression.
My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill,
It helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
and will give someone in my community
A second chance, too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird.
Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Kurt, Jack, D, Black on.
Oh, man. We're here with the head coach of Kennesaw State University, Amir Abdur-Rahim. Amir, what's been the...
I knew this was coming. So, of course, the Doug High thing. Yasir Roseman.
Oh, Lord.
He said you got to ask him who shoot it better, you or Yasir.
That's not even close. Like, I love y'all. Don't get me wrong, but...
Somebody had to, I'll wait for somebody.
Like sometimes, man, when you learn from people, they probably teach you a little bit too well. So I remember them Team Georgia days, being able to watch y'all and my brother. So like y'all got a good jump shot. He can't shoot with me though. I love him. Don't get me wrong.
Shoot him out the gym like that?
Look, Cole. Man, hey.
Don't even do it.
There's certain things I can do and certain things I can't. Shooting is one of the things I can do.
What's crazy? Yasir was younger than us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember when he got there. Like in the 9th grade, and you just knew he gonna be good. His handles were like he understood the game at a young age, but dollar being dollar took all that flash out of it. You wasn't doing that with Coach Dollar.
You gotta do that sometimes.
Y'all share now. Gotta take it out a little bit. What are you establishing year one? What do you want to establish at KSU?
Man, I just want people to know what they're going to get every time they come and watch our guys. I don't care if it's a workout, practice, or a game. They're going to walk out of there and they're like, man, them dudes play hard, Because I think, when you look at a place like Kennesaw, Metro Atlanta in general, but Kennesaw for sure, it's a blue-collar town. It's a lot of mom-and-pop businesses, a lot of, people that have kind of built their way up and worked their way up and kind of established their own thing, So when we have the opportunity to kind of, set that same type of culture, that same type of environment in our program, that's who we want to be. I don't ever want to walk off the court and feel like, man, you know what, we left something out there. And that's cliche in a sense, but at the same time, it's true. It's true. You may not always have the most talented guys, but I've watched a lot of teams over the years win a lot of games with just hard playing dudes, man. Really hard playing guys. So that's what I want to establish more than anything.
You've been a lot of places, so you've seen a lot of recruiting.
Right.
What has been the biggest difference? How much has recruiting changed up until now from when you started?
It's changed a ton. You used to have restrictions. How many times you could call a kid, per week. You used to not be able to call sophomores at all. Now you can call sophomores. You used to. It used to be no text messaging.
Right, and there wasn't no social media.
And there was no social media at all, So it's a good thing, in a sense, because, when I think about how we want to build this thing at Kennesaw State, and it's kind of what we wanted to do at Georgia as well, is we wanted to kind of get in on those kids, when they were young, and establish that relationship, because I think that's what, kind of resonates with people to have real relationships with them. We didn't want to be recruiting them when they were juniors, right? So people may say, well, man, you can't do that at Kennesaw State. state, I beg to differ. You know, it's about working smart. It's about being efficient. So our biggest thing is, you know, making sure that, again, this KS is known, this Black and Gold is known, you know, all over our state. So it's changed, you know, and it takes away from some other things sometimes. But, you know, when you're able to put together a good staff and you're able to put together and you're able to be efficient with your time as the head coach as well, it helps, you know. So it's changed a ton. You know, it's a lot more, you know, Instagram and Twitter, you know, but when you use those things to your advantage, you know, I think it helps a lot.
All right, Coach. Well, before you go, I want you to help me. Part of your job is not only be the head coach of Kennesaw State. Your job is to make me not be so hard on AAU.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this right here. You're gonna be like, I think people are gonna be hard on it regardless. But just remember this right here. For the AAU that we have a hard time with, or people have a hard time with, it's a small percentage. You know, 2, 3, maybe 4% at the most. Okay. Nobody's talking about the other 96% of those guys that do it, you know, for the right reasons. That are, you know, dragging these kids in 15 passenger vans or on a bus, you know, for the right reasons. Like, I think about it like this. I think Atlanta has one of the best AAU cultures, you know, in the entire country, right? And because I think it's guys that are from here that you've seen since they were 15, 16, 17 years old, right? Grow up now. These used to be the guys that we looked up to, right? These used to be the guys that we wanted to be like, and now they have their own program. So I think people give it an undue, like, in a sense, an unfair, you know,
I'm
critique,
tough on it, man.
right? It's an unfair critique in a sense, but I would say this: if you look at just the state of Georgia, AAU wise and high school wise, and you look at the alignment, like the coaches have real relationships with these AAU guys. You don't get that anywhere else, right? Like where you have that alignment, right? Normally it's like the AAU the high school coaches are trying to keep the AAU guys away. Here, I think the high school coaches want to have that relationship. You know, that way when their kids are with them,